Turn on the mic. Okay, let's see. Pledge allegiance? No. I'd like to welcome everybody to our council meeting tonight. We have a study session scheduled for 5:30. Mayor Hepburn is out of the country, and in my position as Mayor Pro Tem, I will be the presiding officer tonight for our meeting. I would like to call to order the study session meeting for Monday, April 15th, 2024. As stated, the time for the record is 5:32. Mr. Domer, please roll call.
Thank you. Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Lau.
Here.
Councilmember Kashifagita.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Here.
And Mayor Hepburn is out of the country, so excused.
Okay. We'll meet in study session following matters to hear presentations from LA County Department of Military and Veteran Affairs from LA Metro. Let's see. Thank you. Tonight, the City Council will hold 2 study sessions. Am I reading this again? Or thank you. Okay. 2 study sessions. The first we will hear from Los Angeles County Department of Military Veteran Affairs. And after, we will hear from LA Metro regarding the proposed MetroLink double track project. The study session has a hard stop of 6:30, so we can conduct our regular council meeting. And 3 important presentations. Neither of the study session topics will require council action. They are both information items. However, we will reserve time during the regular scheduled public comment portion of our agenda for any comments that we cannot get to during the study session. Mr. Domer, could you please call forward the representative from the Department of Military and Veteran Affairs who will be presenting?
Yes. I'd like to go ahead and call forward the representative from the Department of Military Affairs from the LA County.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Hayden with LA County Veteran Affairs. I'm sorry that it's not the other handsome gentleman, Mr. Zinner, who's our director, who couldn't make it tonight. So I do want to apologize on his behalf. He does hope to be able to speak to you all sometime later this summer. But thanks again for having us. So again, I'm Hayden with LA County. And so tonight I just want to briefly discuss or give an overview on the services we'll be able to provide the city of Laverne. So just briefly, our mission is to maximize the full potential of Los Angeles County to enhance the well-being of all veterans, service members, their dependents, and their caregivers through innovation, partnerships, and world-class service. Also, our vision is to deliver seamless services and outreach in partnership with government and community-based partners so that any person who served or is currently serving our country in any capacity, along with their family and caregivers have the access to resources necessary to thrive. So that's where I hopefully step in and connect, be the bridge for veterans and VA benefits here in the county. So again, this is some of what we're going to discuss just briefly. Disability compensation, claims, military records requests, pensions for veterans, trying to get attempts to get a discharge upgrade, the veteran license plate veteran designation on the driver's license, as well as other services. So our bread and butter of the services we provide is to help veterans with disability compensation claims. So those are related to injuries or illnesses that were incurred in service. And that's our primary service that we provide to the county. Most of our traffic is for veterans who are looking for some forms of compensation based on services spanning the Korean War still to this day to the more present generations like myself in Iraq and Afghanistan. The claims process, so in a scenario where veterans are unsuccessful in getting their claims approved, we are still there to assist through our partnerships with the State of California's Veterans Department. We're able to provide experts to stand in front of VA judges, whether here in the regional office or remotely with judges in Washington, D.C., to advocate for veterans to try to get their benefits approved. Also, veterans who are trying to obtain benefits but are unable to prove their veteran status. We do help veterans request those proof of military records. And also for families who are trying to obtain their own separate survivor's benefits, they don't have any way to prove that their loved one was a veteran. We do help those families obtain those records for them. Veterans pension. So, in a scenario where a veteran served during a period of war, which for now, the most common veterans who apply for this sort of benefit are the veterans from the Vietnam era. We help them, we try to the best of our abilities to try to get them approved for veterans pension, which is a low income, extremely low income base benefit for vets. And there's also a benefit that is similar to this for widows. So if a widow of a veteran lost, well, obviously their husband or their wife, they may be entitled to a pension of their own. So that is also a benefit that we help them with. And that's also a big driver of traffic in our offices. Character discharge upgrade. So unfortunately, some veterans, whether through faults of their own or no real faults of their own, are unsuccessful in getting an honorable or general under honorable discharge. In a scenario like that, we do have, through our community partners, folks who are able to provide services to try to help them get their discharge upgraded for the goal of becoming eligible for VA services and other possible services as well. This is also another great benefit that we were able to help in partnership with the DMV, and that is to get veterans the disabled license plate. So if they meet a specific criteria that's set by the state, they may be eligible to get the disabled veterans placard for their motor vehicle. And that's a benefit that we process in our offices that I'll also be able to provide here at the community center.
They still have the Purple Heart as well?
Yes, they do.
License.
Yeah, they definitely do. Another one too that's it's become very popular is being able to have the veteran designation on the California driver's license or state ID card. So a lot of times veterans ask me like, well, so what are the perks, of having veteran on your license? And, personally, it's gotten me a few discounts at a retail store, to be honest. But on a more serious level, it gives me a lot of satisfaction being able to prove that I'm a veteran without having to bring out all these documents or having to ask someone to vouch for me because it's on my ID card. So, for a lot of folks, that's typically that's the feeling they want, to be able to show that they're a veteran and not have to argue about whether or not they are a veteran. So that's something we're going to be able to do here as well at the community center. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So I've personally been just a bit about myself. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, served in Iraq. I was assigned to North Carolina for a little while, and once I came back home, I was fortunate enough to join the county, and I've been a VSO for 9 years now. And it's been a great job and a great opportunity for me to give back to other veterans like myself. And I know with our director, who's been with the department for about 1.5 years now, he's very, very much motivated to partner with cities who are eager to provide these services to their community. And luckily, we have plenty of people in our staff who are eager to deliver those services. So with the eagerness and the motivation and direction by our director, Mr. Zinner, we hope that these partnerships continue to grow, not just with the city of Laverne, but with other San Gabriel Valley cities. So anyway, does anybody have any questions?
But, are you also in the community center helping?
Yes. So I'm going to be, as of about 5 weeks ago, I mean, with Yvonne, I've been calling it a soft opening to this point. But so we're going to be providing services here at the community center on Mondays. And again, just a bit about myself. I am a student here at Laverne, and I do have connections with the Veterans Resource Center as well. So I'm hoping that in time we could create more formal partnerships with the University of Laverne and obviously the VFW that's here in the community as well. We try to grow our footprint here with your blessing, of course, to let the public know that the city of Laverne is serious about providing services to its constituents, specifically veterans, dependents, and spouses as well. So, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. That's it.
And I apologize, I forget your name.
Hayden Velasquez.
Hayden.
If not, that little lady right there, she'll be happy to tell you. Yeah. It's actually Papa. It's not Hayden. it's Papa, day and night, 24/7.
Hayden, I want to thank you for your presentation tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right.
All right, folks. Have a good night.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
First, thank you for your service. You said on Mondays. What time on Mondays is it open here?
Yes, of course. Sorry to mention. I didn't mention that. Yeah, our business hours are from 8 to 4:30 every Monday. So please, if you know, any constituents, any neighbors, any colleagues, whether they're a veteran or they know that's a veteran or they, anyone in their circle, please let them know that we're here to deliver these
Can
services.
they call for appointments or?
Yes, right. So as far as how they could see me, they could. As of right now, we welcome walk-ins, but we also are able to schedule appointments for them at a time that works best for them. And
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for Yvonne for helping coordinate that and bring that into our city as well. Really appreciate that.
absolutely. So, thanks, everyone.
One last thing, Maureen.
Yes, sir.
Question for you.
Fire away.
We said Monday 8 to 4:30. Walk-ins are welcome. Really appreciate it. First and foremost, thank you for your service, Maureen.
I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
I'm really honored to have you here representing the LA County Military and Veteran Affairs. And please thank Director Zenner for being here. And I want to also thank our amazing community director, Ms. Yvonne Durant, for facilitating all this and really helping our community and having that footprint here. Is there so who would they contact our city here to say I'm going to speak to you on Mondays, or is there another phone number or 800?
Yeah. So as of right now, we're going with the community center telephone number.
Got it.
I apologize, I don't have it on hand. But,
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
So the team, I'm familiar with the team, and the team knows that we're here. So I'm sure there's still some kinks we're gonna have to work through, as you could expect, being so new and to the community. But yes, they could call the community center. And those appointments would be between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on Mondays.
Good.
Yeah.
And before you leave, Hayden, any public comments? Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you. I'm really glad to hear that you're in touch with the university, and I'm glad that you're a student there. So I'm assuming you know Diana Towles then?
I'm pretty sure the last name sounds very familiar. Yes.
Okay, so she's in charge of the Veteran and Student Success Center. So, I would highly recommend if you had a chance to funnel some information to her. I know she'd be more than happy to send that out to our veteran students, and that would be a great connection.
Yeah. I do want to schedule something more formal with them. So far, I've just dropped in just to let them know, hey, guys, we're open for business.
Perfect.
Right? But I do want to do something that it brings more of the student base. That way I could reach as many people as possible, make as many people as possible aware of the services so close to the campus. So.
And I recall, I think at one of the events that the VFW Post had hosted, there was one of the female veterans had indicated that they'd love to see more female veteran participation, both in the VFW Post and to get acclimated back to civilian life and everything else. So I think if that's something that you have resources for, that would be most welcome.
No, yes, thank you for pointing that out. Yes, our department they are aware. And trust me, my wife was a Marine, so I am personally aware that seriously, there needs to be more attention brought to that community that serve just as much and just with as much honor as the men have. And I definitely agree. And our director is fully aware of that. And I know that they're actively trying to partner with organizations that have already been established, like Women's on Point here in the LA area, to increase awareness and also to build a community for female veterans. So, thank you, ma'am.
And do you know if you are partnered with ACP? I know that's believe it's a nonprofit group that helps military veterans and their spouses in terms of acclimating back to civilian life. So if you don't have that information, I'm happy to share it with you.
Yes,
So,
I don't.
Perfect.
I don't. And yes, I'll welcome any input you have. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, real quick, the number for the community center is 909-596-8776. So if anybody wants that, 596-8776.
Good.
That's it?
Any public
Oh, right.
comments?
Sorry. Yeah.
Hearing none?
Here's your one and only chance, everybody. I won't be around.
Aiden?
This is a Monday from 8 to 4:30. We got you, Marine. We're not letting you go now.
Yes, sir. We spoke already briefly. So
Aiden, thank you.
thanks again.
Thanks, Aiden.
Have a good night.
All right, Marine.
All righty. Mr. Domer, please call forward the representative from LA Metro who will be presenting on the double track project.
All right, tonight for the Double Track project, I'd like to bring forward our friends from Metro to provide this presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson and members of the council here tonight. My name is Vahid Haqdus. I'm with LA Metro. I'm a director in program management, regional rail, and we are here tonight to present an update, design update on the Lone Hill to White double track project. Okay. So I have my colleagues, Mr. Charles Tang and Josh Francis from LA Metro, and we are partnered with Metrolink. This project is along Metrolink corridor, and also we work closely with both City of Laverne and San Dimas because the 4 miles of the 3.9 miles of the double track project goes through these two cities. And we have the logo for Public Utilities Commission on the top because here tonight we are presenting one of the design modification to San Dimas Canyon, and any at-grade crossing needs to go under the review and approval. So they're the approving agency. We also work with other stakeholders that, within this project limits, you see logo for Caltrans because we're going under the SR 57 bridge and we need their oversight to approve the project. We also work with LA County. We have drainage facilities that goes underneath the track. And also Fairplex, University of Laverne, and obviously Foothill Gold Line, which is parallel to Metrolink corridor. So on this slide, we have the project location, the dark blue representing 3.9 miles of double track. Currently, we have a single track on the busiest line, Metrolink line within the Metrolink system, which is San Bernardino line. And Metro is adding a second track to improve reliability and performance of the system. So what's happening right now, we have only one track. This is like a one-way road. And imagine if two cars wants to come in different directions, one car has to wait until the other car goes, and it's the same goes for trains. So this project, by adding the second track, it will basically improve reliability of the Metrolink system. Pre-COVID, we had 30-plus Metrolink trains along this corridor and also a handful of freight trains traveling along the San Bernardino line. What you see with the red circles, those are identifying the at-grade crossings that is going to be improved as part of our project. We have 12 at-grade crossings that this project will install safety measures like vehicle gates, fencing, sidewalk for enhancing the safety through the corridor. And the goals and objectives of the project, first and foremost, is safety. So we are mitigating the risk of collisions for involving trains within this corridor. And we also improve the travel time by reducing delays. So what that means, when you have more efficiency for the trains, the gates at each crossing will go down for a less time. Basically, trains don't need to wait for each other, and it's going to improve the reliability and efficiency for all commuters, whether you take the train or take cars, because those gates are going to stay down for a less amount of time after the double track project. It will improve the quality of life by the carbon emission, reducing traffic congestion, and most importantly, this project will add safety features that will make the corridor quiet. So what that means, currently when the trains going through the crossing, they need to blow horn. And after the project, this project will basically add safety features that can implement quiet zone. After quiet zone, they don't need to blow horn, and we can talk about it if there's any question on that one. We cleared the environmental phase in 2019 for this project, and since then we had several public outreach meetings. We attended city council meetings, HOA briefings, and provided updates to the public about this project. So as I said, tonight we're presenting a design option for San Dimas Canyon Road at Great Crossing, which is the corridor on the south side of Arrow intersection. That's Metrolink, and then on the north side of the intersection, Arrow intersection, we have the Gold Line and also one BNSF, which is a freight train. And Metrolink to the intersection, we have less than 200 feet. So this is a very constrained areas that we are dealing with 2 active tracks on north and south side of a major intersection. And the solution that we came up, our design team came up with, and I'm going to present tonight, is focused on this area. And again, a little bit of the constraints that we had. As I said, there is only less than 200 feet from the Arrow intersection to the Metrolink Great Crossing. And obviously, our design team, we worked with all the stakeholders. We worked closely with City of La Verne Engineering, California Public Utility Commission, and we put our heads to basically find a solution that enhances the safety at this crossing. So obviously, with the situation that we had, we looked at different options. Our design team looked at different options. The first option was closing the road, and we didn't want to close the road because that will impact all the residents south of the crossing. We looked at other options like crossing relocation or grade separation. Grade separation, you have to raise or lower the road above or below the track, and that would be very disruptive. There is not enough distance. That would basically wipe out the area. We have to do so many businesses, potential areas, and go that route. Closing was not an option. Like I said, it's going to impact property south, the community south. And again, this was a team effort. We put our heads together. We came up with the solution number 5, traffic modification to present, and that has the least amount of impact. And by the way, this intersection is located in the city of La Verne. I show you next slide, and still over to of San Dimas, but physically this intersection of Arrow and San Dimas is within the city of La Verne. The design solution is basically providing right turn only going northbound. And the reason is in coordination, it was identified that there is cars traveling on the northbound. They south, and then they may block the. So that's the safety hazard. Eliminate the risk, and by eliminating the red setting, there is no reason for cars at the intersection. So if you travel north, basically that free right always open. There is no potential for it. As part of this design, have some tax property. There is a liquor store. The owner before this that don't impact their for that property. And then another thing I wanted to for the traffic movement going north and left on Arrow, we provided Metro provide an opening 1,400 east of it. So that opening cars can make it. Then they try to San Dimas Canyon, go north, continue. So this is the design. Other option, closing really road for traffic. The zoomed in version of the concept, as I said, again, that shows the right turn only, also acceleration lane to vehicles up minus lane.
Two. So I'm talking about the right turn or northbound where it says that there's businesses right there. How do someone access that?
So yeah. So that's a good question. So basically, as I said, sure. So as you can see, we are putting like a curb here for protect the
There's-
vehicles making
Yeah.
right. The curb ends here, and the first driveway is right here. So there is enough space for cars basically to get into this lane and enter this driveway if they need to.
I don't know if that driveway to the business.
And
That driveway
that
connects to
one-
the business? The very east driveway, I gotta look on another map to see, does that connect to the liquor store that's on the corner? Right?
This one?
Yes. I know that's a lawnmower shop. That's right in there. So you come in, and then right there where your cursor's at, I think there's, I don't know if there's a connection there.
There is a connection. Yeah, there is a gate here, and then we also putting a driveway here.
So are you going to take that gate down? And I think it was my colleague was saying, how are they be able to, because if you have a still gate there, you're not going to be able to get into the business because there's a gate. So are you going to be able to do something with that? I mean, that's, with those businesses, how they're going to be able to come around. If I'm a customer, I want to come around, provide parking to go in, come out that way. Otherwise, I'd have to come in.
So for liquor store, again, this is similar to the existing condition. We are not changing it.
Uh-huh.
For liquor store, basically, as a matter of fact, we were talking with the owner just before this meeting. We are putting a dedicated right lane, so folks can go south on San Dimas and enter the driveway
Okay.
here. So similar to what they're doing here, and the reason we are moving this driveway away from the crossing. Right now, the existing driveway is right next to the Metrolink track,
Got it.
and this is non-standard. It has to be 100 feet minimum for safety. So we can't provide 100 feet, honestly, but we are just pushing it as much as possible away from the track. And but as far as the operation, we're not really changing anything. There is a gate here, I believe, for these businesses, in the back. This will stay. I mean, I think they need this. And again, if someone wants to, let's say, someone traveling on the eastbound, they can come San Dimas and then continue, just similar to what they're doing now. But if they want to enter from Arrow Highway, they can enter from here. But this is, I mean, honestly, if you look at it, this is a little bit narrow, so it's easier to exit and enter. But again, we are not changing anything as far as the operation. We are coordinating closely with the owners. We provide circulation for the truck that they're using, truck size, fire truck, so we make sure that there is no impact to the.
And Mayor Pro Tem Council members, there currently is no entrance from Arrow Highway to that liquor store. You do have to come in off San Dimas Canyon to enter it. So, as you're saying, there is no overall change. And I believe that the owners are probably going to keep up that gate, so that's kind of storage area back there and all that. So the primary access and egress is still going to be San Dimas Canyon. The biggest change is that when somebody's leaving that liquor store, they're going to have to go through that dedicated right all the way down. If they're going westbound, then they're going to have to do the U-turn 1,400 feet down.
How does that affect? I mean, now I'm thinking about the citizens that live just south of that railroad track that used to. How many cars do we know have transversed up north of San Dimas Canyon, utilize that to continue to go northbound? Now they're going to have to. Has there been any studies as far as that?
Absolutely, yeah. So the traffic going north and left turn on San Dimas. So we have about like 50 cars an hour at the peak, and that's the numbers before COVID. So now it's less than COVID because the impact is. We looked at the traffic studies done for this. Those movements are. One more thing I wanted to mention. Talk with the owner, and they are requesting to add like an exit only here, just to make it easier for the customer. So we have to look into it. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're gonna work with our designer, put together something. Citizen staff and.
When you say an exit only, what does that entail?
It's just a narrow driveway for cars to exit to the right here, along the arrow, right there.
And then they would have to merge with any other cars that are on that dedicated
Turn lane.
Yeah.
turn lane.
It's again the traffic, the number of vehicles making right turn a lot less than vehicle on the highway. So it could be possible. Again, something that.
How many homes are south of the tracks there that use that road?
I want to see two. I want to see.
Gosh, no, but there we have two. And based on what we looked at, traffic numbers probably.
I have a clarifying question. You mentioned that on San Dimas Canyon, there has to be 100 feet for safety. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
100?
for driveways, that's the.
And then I heard you say we were going to get as close to that. Are we getting to that? Or are we not at that?
No, I mean, we're going to push it. You see the driveway right now, this is the furthest it can get from the crossing. Have this everything. So even if it's not meeting the 100 feet, but we're pushing it possible.
So I guess my clarifying question is, the way you phrased it is that 100 feet is the requirement. So are we not meeting the requirement?
I don't have the exact number, honestly, but yeah, sure.
Usually for traffic engineering design purposes, we have a so-called standard guideline. So that 100 feet away from the track is a standard guideline. And but there are some exceptions. So if we don't meet that, so the proper procedures will be, we submit this design to the city and ask for a design exception. And at the same time, if the city concur with the design, then we will submit the design exception request and coordinate with LA County Public Works, because they manage pretty much the traffic operation along Arrow Highway, as well as we'll run it by PUC. Because once again, we want to deliver a project that is safe to the community.
Correct.
And meeting the city's expectation.
So then my question is, what other mitigating procedures or steps would be amenable to accomplish that if we are not achieving the 100-foot requirement?
Yeah, that's a good question, if I may. As a mitigation, we are putting basically quad gates. You know, let me see if I can point to it. So
Point on that screen.
yeah, we have
There you go.
right. So right now there is no gate here.
Okay.
So we will have a gate that closes the crossing on four corners, and we will have a median that extends 60 feet from the crossing. So no cars can get into the crossing, basically.
Right, for track protection purpose,
Right.
I think Farheen mentioned earlier, all these crossings will be, we call it quiet zone ready. So what it means is PUC mandated if we want to make the crossing quiet zone ready, it needs to have at least like 4 gates. So for a road configuration like this, so we'll not just have the approach gates, we also have the departure gates. So for that concern, to prevent like queuing,
Right.
have the so-called call it the tail, like kind of like a blocking the tracks. So the departure gates will basically address that concern. So that departure gates will be 15 feet away from the center line of the northerly track. So it will come down at the same time as the approach gate. So 7 seconds or 10 seconds before the train passes by the crossing, all 4 gates will come down at the same time.
Okay.
So that will prevent any car that's like hang out. So there is like a little gap time for people to exit out and clear from the track. So that's why the northbound free ride operation, there's like no, we call it a free flow. So there should be nothing, there shouldn't be anything that will blocking them for this movement. So unless there's an accident.
So, okay. So then where in the process would that be? Because you've mentioned a lot of entities that would have to sign off on this exception. So where is that in the process?
We have to come up with a design first.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
after
so this
the
is-
design is done, then we will basically we run like a parallel process. So we'll run it by the city, PUC, and LA County to make sure everybody bite off on that concept and sign off on that design exception. If it needs to be in the design exception, it's not uncommon that agencies need to sign off on design exceptions. So we did that. This is not the first time.
No, I understand that. And so just in full disclosure, I'm a risk manager for AECOM. So when I'm asking these questions, I'm asking as if this was, something that we were doing. I'd want to know that the design, if it was going to have any exceptions, would have mitigation strategies in place to make sure that our people are protected, because this is going to be new for them. So along with that, I would expect that there would be some sort of an education process for folks to acclimate to the new, whatever that new design is.
Well, actually, if you look at pretty much majority of the goal line crossings, they are all operating the same way. So,
And that's fine,
Right.
but that doesn't alleviate the need to make sure that the folks in this area have the understanding for it.
understood. So when the design get bite off and then in constructions, our outreach colleagues will continue to conduct multiple sessions just to make sure everybody is up to speed of receiving it, like so-called the new features on the street.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have been working with CPUC, so this was concurred by the CPUC, this design approach, because it eliminates potential for queuing over the track, because it's always free for the northbound. Yeah. We also putting some safety improvements for the pedestrians. As you can see, we have a refuge area, so that shortened the length of the crosswalk. And then also we are improving the angle of the crosswalk leading to the north side of Arrow Highway. That make it more perpendicular and also shorter crossing the Arrow Highway. I have an example of this area. So wait here. Crosswalk. Like I said, physically, the section is located here. We have the border, and here. Some of the and what's happening here along Arrow basically border right. We have to traffic north, so we're going through transition, then back. So this is in order dedicated right hand and also right hand arrow. when we eliminate the northbound, north at the all the this improvement. And this is our schedule for our project. Cleared the environmental phase and 90% final package. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks. Thank you. And then 90% pre-final is anticipated to be completed in summer this year, and construction is planned to be completed before 2028 Olympics. And again, these are the ways that you can email us or call us if you have questions regarding the project after this meeting. But before I wrap up, I just wanted to reiterate what I said. We really looked at different options for this crossing, and obviously we didn't want to close it because closing it is going to impact all the communities to the south. They limit the access for the emergency vehicles, ambulance, to access. So we wanted to make sure that the traffic stays open along San Dimas Canyon. And this was something that, again, our team came up with, and it's approved by the CPUC and remains all the traffic.
And as far as emergency vehicles, the fire trucks, the ambulances that will be going in and out of there, that's not an issue as well.
Again, the lanes are open. Access those out.
Council, any other comments? No?
I'm just really worried about the U-turn on Arrow, putting 1,400 feet down and trying to turn around, especially on traffic. Also worried about making 3 lanes into 2 right there. If you've ever been there on a Friday night, try and go down Arrow, it really slows it down and be traffic backed up. I understand the community below can also use Walnut, but that's moving, all those homes that are on the eastern side to have to travel down all the way to Walnut to make a left-hand turn to go anywhere to the west. So I understand you're trying to make the best of pretty much a bad situation of having to close San Dimas Canyon, but it's going to be affecting those residents down there. The one piece, though, I really do like is preparing it for a quiet zone. I think that community down there needs a quiet zone. That metro train, I know the Gold Line or A Line or whatever they're calling that one is going to be a quiet zone. But thank goodness I don't live down there, but that train is honking every 15 minutes going by loud. And so as soon as that we can, as a city, apply for that to make that happen, that's the good thing coming out of it.
Thank you. If I may add, regarding the quiet zone, Metro added 2 additional crossings outside of the city, and that's Valley Boulevard and Fulton. So these are outside of the 10 crossings that we have. So when the train comes in within the city of Laverne and San Dimas, you would have the full effect of the quiet zone. So they start sooner, basically outside of the city. In regards to the 1,400 feet, the reason it's basically, we put it there because cars have to pick up the speed to the speed limit and then can change their. So that's why, it puts it that. I mean, no matter when. Right. But again, we looked at, from the engineering side, we looked at the distance required for a vehicle to accelerate and be able to make the U-turn.
Good. This study session is a presentation of Metro on the proposal, and Metro is the lead agency So I would encourage residents to continually provide comment to them. But are there any public comments on this matter at this time? Pat?
You know what? I want to thank Councilmember Crosby for your comments. You pretty much said a lot of my concerns. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Matt Lyons. I am a board member of Park Laverne HOA, as well as a board member of Montecito Village HOA, which is in San Dimas. Both HOAs impacted by this project. First off, I would say yes, please, to the quiet zone. Yes, please, yesterday, last year, 3 years ago, because this line has only gotten more busy and seemingly more loud over the years. I've lived in Laverne for many, many years. And if you knew where I lived, you'd realize I couldn't get any closer than anyone else to the private crossing as well as the crossing on San Dimas Canyon Road. So when you hear those horns, I'm hearing it as a singular, very long horn as opposed to two horns. So again, quiet zone, yes. Please, when it comes before you, I hope the city of Laverne will consider it seriously. I went to the public meeting along with several of my board members and community members, and we were concerned. Post-meeting, there's a lot of noise and concern in our private HOA Facebook group. So I would encourage these folks to reach out to the two HOAs impacted to have kind of another outreach opportunity. We are concerned with the constant turn to the right. I'm not here on behalf of Pudding Stone Village, but for those that may or may not know, that section of the road that we're diverting folks to is the responsibility of the HOA to maintain, not a city maintain. So HOA members are paying for the maintenance of that road that we are diverting Park Laverne and Pudding Stone Village residents on. Also, a point of clarification: where do people park now? For the lawnmower business, oftentimes, and this was pre-Gold Line construction, they were parking on San Dimas Canyon Road with likely larger sized trucks, commercial vehicles, and that oftentimes extended to Sunrose, along Sunrose. They didn't use the parking lot, and they didn't use that far parking lot because that would have required those folks to walk along Arrow Highway. So that parking lot is used very infrequently. Now, that parking on San Dimas Canyon Road has created issues during the Gold Line construction because we already lost lanes. And so having cars park along San Dimas Canyon Road wasn't working, so we're seeing more park on Sunrose. That's the reality today. I welcome the modified plan and the exit only on Arrow. I think logistically that will help. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the traffic for that liquor store actually comes northbound from the two bigger apartment complexes, because that is the most convenient, quick stop for those folks. So again, that right turn only and that exit only not going to really impact logistically those who want to exit and go north. But again, I think the biggest quality of life impact is you make this area quiet, you are going to improve the quality of life of a whole lot of Laverne residents that live south of the tracks. And I hate saying this, but I think we'll figure it out. But I concur with Councilmember Lau. Outreach and communication on how we're going to figure this out is good. I cringe to the any more traffic to Arrow Highway. Again, I concur with Arrow Highway is a nightmare. Me just getting here got caught up in it. I left my house and I'm hitting every lights. We now have more lights because of Gold Line. And so what used to only take me 5 minutes to get here took me almost 15. So we're just going to be adding to that. But thank you for my comments. But I hope to hear from you guys at an HOA meeting.
Thank you for the presentation.
Of course, thank you.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this as the project moves forward.
Anytime.
Thank you. All right. Yes, it's time to recess. We will be back in 7 or 8 minutes to open up our regular council meeting. Thank you. Good evening. It is, what is it, 6:32. And welcome to tonight's City Council meeting. I want to remind everyone that per the city's rules for decorum, all speakers and members of the audience and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and to not engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom will only be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar. Public hearing and other matter sections of the agenda, public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time. And tonight for the Pledge of Allegiance, we have
Certificate? There we go.
Colin Harford Harold White. Colin?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Colin White, and I'm going to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance for you today. I ask all active duty military, veterans, law enforcement, and first responders, please render a hand salute, while the others place their hand over the heart. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
1 second, Marine. Sergeant White?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Meet you.
Foremost, Marine. We as a city take great pride in honoring pride in those veterans that have down. Certificate. Thank you. This certificate of recognition. You know, we as a community want to know something about you, Marine. I say that because once a Marine, always a Marine. I'll never make that same mistake twice. I'll never say I'm an Army guy.
Yeah, soldier.
Soldier a lot. You know, I apologize. I understand how that goes. But you know what? We want to know something about you, Marine. We as a whole city want to know about Sergeant White. So if you can, you know what? Just tell us about your story. Every Marine has a great story. Tell us when you first started, what MOSs you've done, and if you had any combat service, let us know about some combat service. And just, I want to know about Sergeant White. Go ahead.
So I joined the military out of high school. In 2013, I graduated from a small town called Lincoln, Montana. Graduated with 20 other students, which is the biggest class in that town that they've had in generations. The average class is 8 people. So I had the summer to kind of have my last summer to myself. Joined the Marine Corps September 2013. Went to MCRD San Diego. Graduated in December. Had a long boot leave. Usually it's only about a week, 10 days. I had like a month and a half because the next cycle at SOI wasn't picking up until February. So I had a good long break to myself. Went to SOI. There I became a 0331 machine gunner. After I graduated from SOI, I got stationed out in North Carolina to the unfortunate news that they were no longer sending people over to the Middle East, which is why I joined the Marine Corps. I really wanted to go, and I wanted to fight the bad guy. But I still had a good time nonetheless. I did 2 UDPs, which is a unit deployment program, where I went to Japan and Korea both times. Japan, we stayed in Okinawa, a small island called Okinawa. We stayed there. Majority of the time, we spent 2 months, 1 month each time in Korea. We went to Camp Rodriguez, which is by the DMZ, and then we went to Camp Mujek, which is in Pohang. I had a lot better time in Korea than I did in Japan, just because they're more friendly there. Where in Japan, I like to say it's a good time nonetheless, but in Japan, you have to, in order to become friends with a Japanese person in Japan, you have to be a friend by association. And then in Korea, if you just have anything in common with them, they're your best friend, and it's like lifelong friends. Probably knew them since kindergarten. After my 2 deployments, I re-enlisted. I did, and then I thought I was going to stay in North Carolina for my next re-enlistment. However, Marine Corps wants theirs, so I got sent to think of words right now, but I got sent to the recruit training camp, Camp Pendleton. So I went to Camp Pendleton, and I helped train recruits on the rifle range, Table 1 and 2. So I was a combat marksmanship coach while I was there. I also held the billet of police sergeant. So what that entailed was anything that the ranges needed to conduct training, I helped do that. So beans, bullets, bandages, all that stuff, I did. I ordered it for them. I worked directly under the company gunnery sergeant, so I did everything that he does, just not the paperwork or the meetings.
You have a family, Marine?
I do. I have a daughter, and unfortunately, I have an ex-wife. But we are very cordial, and I still love her to death. But for better purposes, we co-point.
Let me save you, Marine. Good job. Simplify, Marine. All right. Awesome. Well, the City of Laverne Certificate of Recognition presented to Colin Harold White. The certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Veteran Colin Harold White with sincere gratitude and appreciation for a dedicated service to our country. Simplify, Marine.
Thank you.
And let's not forget our amazing commander here from the Veterans Foreign War Post 12034. If you're a veteran, I highly encourage you to join the amazing post Banner Brothers here in Laverne.
What am I doing? Presentations. Oh,
Roll call first.
yeah, roll call first.
Councilmember Crosby.
Here.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Councilmember Kesha Fagita.
Here, sir.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Present.
All present. Mayor Hepburn is out of the country.
We do have a reason for an addition to the closed session. Is that right, Scott?
We do have a recommendation that it would be to add something to the agenda. So legally, you as the city council are entitled to add something to the agenda, but only if, because we've got one absence tonight, you would need a unanimous vote. We're requesting that we add the following discussion in closed session. It would be pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection A, 1, Sullivan versus City of Laverne, WCAV, case number ADJ 180847111, and that we'll discuss that in closed session. But to add that, you need to be able to make 2 findings, and I would request a motion. You can certainly make the motion. It would be number 1, that there is a need to take immediate action on this. Number 2, that the need for the action came to the attention of the city after the agenda was posted. So in this case, after the agenda was posted, we came to our attention that there was a workers' compensation attorney. They requested that this be added immediately after that.
So do we have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
And that was approved 4-0 with Hepburn being absent.
Good. And presentations. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Domer. Tonight we have several presentations. First is a presentation of the AYSO 12U boys soccer team. This one? I think we're going down. All right. All right. I'm relearning this position, so. Okay, so we have Verne San Dimas AYSO Region 1-2 Blue Lightning soccer team finished their regular season with a 13-0 record, scoring 54 goals and allowing 4. Team advanced and won the regionals, 3-0 record. Then they advanced to the sectionals, where they finished with a 2 record, with over 320 teams competing. The sectionals, the team ranked number 3 out of all the teams participated. The team was coached by Medina Nada. And please come up. Arden Rosa. Mateo Carlos. Arlen Pickus. Troy Diaz isn't here. Alan Campbell. Jaden Barbelli isn't here either. Next, neither is Cash, sorry. Nathaniel Batch. Giovanni Pineda. Porter Batch. Dante isn't here. And last, our goalie, Luca. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Like to get a picture. Why don't you guys come stand right here like we take our AYSO pictures, and then we get some folks in the front and other amazing athletes right behind them. Let's go. Coach, get in there. Where's the families? The families are here today? Come on up, family. Slide in here. Absolutely, Coach. Good work. Good work. In-and-out's just right there. I'll take a number 2, no cheese, as you can. Okay, what are we offering? today?
Our next presentation here. Now we'll move on to our next presentation, Youth Basketball, C Division Basketball All-Stars. The City of Laverne C Division Youth Basketball All-Star Team was formed from players participating in the city's Winter Youth Basketball League. The team participated in the SCMAF San Gabriel Valley Basketball Tournament hosted by the City of Glendora. The team defeated Temple City in the first round and then defeated the City of Pasadena in the second round, then moved on to beat the City of Burbank in the semifinals. The finals, the team played the City of Walnut and won by the score 63-21. The team was coached by Larry Chavez and Wendy Robin Buchanan.
Coach, come on up, Coach, come on up.
Nice trophy. On down.
Coach Chavez, appreciate you. Coach Noah. I see no Chavez there. All right, okay, we're gonna here. Just go ahead and announce our meeting athlete. Card. I want to thank him. Grateful.
Testing 1 2. Here we go. Am I on? Can you hear me? All right. I'm sorry. Wonderful Coach Wendy assisting me here, and my awesome son Noah Chavez also. He's a 7th grader. He's also plays basketball. He made the 7th grade basketball team at Ramona. And me, Larry Chavez. And I just want to thank, it was a really team effort. All the parents that are back there gave 100% support. And that's what was the backbone that made this team go this strong. Every parent that was sitting there had input on it. So it helped us a lot. And thank you to the city of Laverne. And Chad, thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that. So, yeah, it was a grueling tournament, but it was something that the team really worked hard, and the coaches put a lot of effort and support to them to take them to that level. So yeah, it was very awesome, awesome thing to accomplish at such a young age. Thank you very much. Everyone here this is 10U. Yeah, it's 10U, right? I know. Right. Some of the other cities were like, no way, they're not 10U. Come on. We're like, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Awesome. So yeah, it was an awesome experience, and this is something that I'll never forget, especially to have both my son, one as a player and one as a coach, to assist me as well. Okay, so go with Aiden Cates up, please. Wonderful ball player. Awesome. Cole Bias, wonderful young man as well. Max McCraven. Ethan Chavez, my son. Elijah Holmgren, a wonderful young man as well. Aiden Escobar. Jordan McKinley. Yeah, that's your Laverne 10U champions, SGB. Thank you. Noah Chavez. Here, babe, you can get mine. Take mine.
Family photos, take some photos. Athletes right here. Hold up easy trophy right in there, front coach.
year. Next year.
Okay, next we have let's see, our final presentation, Outstanding Older American, Edward Paget.
Hi, folks. I want to introduce my wife over here, Merle. My daughter in the back with the camera is Lauren. Next to her is my son, Nathan. And my other daughter, Christine, my son-in-law. My father-in-law's over here, John. And they all supported me in all this because I'm off helping people all the time.
Edward, this certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Edward Paget, congratulating him from being nominated as the Outstanding Older American representing the City of Laverne for 2023 to 2024. Edward. Okay, so regarding the award certificate, the Senior Advisory Committee has nominated one senior citizen for Older American Recognition Award. This recognition is part of the Los Angeles County Commission of Older Adults, LACCOA 59th Annual Older American Recognition Day. Yeah. The awards program, which honors a senior citizen from each city in the Los Angeles County. The Senior Advisory Committee nominated Edward as the city's Outstanding Older American, as he exemplifies the true spirit of this year's theme, Powered by Connection. Mr. Paget resides in Laverne and has dedicated countless hours of community service. We'll take just a few minutes of recess. For those that want to stay, please stay. If you need to get somewhere, we'll give you a few minutes.
That's right.
Wish I can be doing this right now.
Okay, bringing the meeting back to order. Announcements. First, we have John Graham. My script. The script, man.
Good evening, council, staff, and community residents. My name's John Graham. I'm with Dave Little. We're with the Royal Land Partners, and we represent the development team for the Lutheran High School. In terms of the redevelopment of that property on Fruit Street, we know it has a long, rich history. Both our kids grew up playing basketball inside that gym, so it means a lot to us. And we're proud to actually be part of this redevelopment team for the Lutheran High School property. We're offering 2 community meetings, and then Dave will announce a 3rd community meeting. But the first community meeting, we have noticed all the neighbors. It's this Monday, the 22nd. The following Monday, the 22nd, between 7 and 8:30 p.m. My camera's showing my bald spot. I can't stand that. So the first community meeting that we've noticed the community, we did a 400-foot radius and sent courtesy notices to everybody within that general radius, is this coming Monday, not today, but the following Monday, the 22nd, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. inside the gym, at the Lutheran Gym, which is directly on Fruit in Amherst. We are looking forward to engaging the community there, listening, and gathering input from the community and the neighbors. If for whatever reason community can't make that Monday, we also have the 26th, which is the Friday of next week. Also same time frame, which we will stick around and answer questions and take community input as well. So with that, I have Dave Little for the 3rd meeting.
So in addition to those 2 meetings actually at the school, we reached out to the Foothill Terrace residents, and this coming Wednesday, the 17th, we'll be presenting at their HOA meeting who we are and what some of our plans are in case they can't make it over across the street to the community meeting on the 22nd or the 26th. Thank you.
What time is that meeting?
That's going to be at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. Thank you for that.
This coming Wednesday is the Foothill Terrace meeting.
Correct.
With that, we look forward to community participation. And Dave and I will stick around if anyone wants to talk or exchange contact information. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. George May.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, city staff, and Laverne residents. I'm here to talk about our programs that we have for this month and also next month. We've got a pretty full lineup. The one thing I want to just start off saying that all the programs that we have limited attendance or require registration, so you can do that by going on site, talk to one of the staff, and they'll sign you up for the particular program that you're interested in. Or you can go to online to visit.lacounty.org/events and narrow the search down to Laverne Library or the event. So all of that is required. So, but again, even if it might say full on the website, there's chances are you'll be able to get in because a certain percentage of the customers who do sign up never show up for the event. So there's always a spot or 2 or more for people who are on the waiting list. Take those slots. So don't get discouraged. If you something that you're interested in, please show up. Chances are you'll get it. So something that has been going on year round, and these are our Smarty Pants Storytime sessions. Our current Storytime session is going to be ending April 19th. And our next one is starting from May 10th through June 14th. Now, all the Smarty Pants Storytime sessions are Fridays from 11 to 12. They are for ages 2 to 5 with a parent or caregiver. The children will show up will be enjoying books, songs, rhymes, movement activities, and also learn school readiness skills. Again, our session is ending April 19th, and then you want to start on May 10th. Please come out. These are very popular. Rosa, our children's librarian, she does a great job. She brings energy, focus, different themes. There's never one story time that's the same. They're always different. She puts a lot of time, prep time into it. The kids love her, the parents love her, and so please bring your children to these story times. I think you'll enjoy them. This week we have 2 programs. One's a children program is on Wednesday, April 17th at 5 o'clock. It's called Baila Bilingual Show. Baila is a band. And what they're going to do through fun rhythms and interactive games, they will be teaching Spanish vocabulary, expressions, and Latin culture. Now, this is for ages 0 through 12 with parent or caregiver. Again, limited attendance, registration is required. Then the next day, Thursday, April 18th, at between 4 and 4:30, we are having our teen advisory board. So if you're a teen and you would like to provide input as to what you would like to see at the library, please come on in. You'll get a chance to brainstorm with other teens, with your peers, to decide about plans or things you would like to be introduced or presented at the library. You'll get a chance to collaborate with your peers and also to learn some leadership skills. Now, this is for ages 13 through 18. The following week, we've got 3 programs. Tuesday, April 23rd, at between 6 and 7:30, we have an adult program titled Make a Woven Paper Basket. Everybody who attends will be making these small baskets that are designed to collect all those things that are little things around the house. We will provide all the material, and they'll be using common office supplies. You'll be able to use your fine motor skills and also eye-hand coordination. This is for adults. Then on Thursday, April 25th, from 4 to 5 p.m., we are having a program that's to celebrate National Poetry Month. It's called National Poetry Month, Design a Poetry-Inspired Tote Bag. This is for teens ages 13 through 17. And as it says, you'll have an opportunity to create your own poetry-inspired tote bag that you can use to carry library books or whatever else you need to carry. And then next Friday, April 26th, from 11 to 12, we are having Play and Explore. It's a children's program for ages 1 through 5 with a parent or a caregiver. It's a morning of play, curiosity, and creativity, and the children will have an opportunity to exercise their fine and gross motor skills through play, and also it's a unique family bonding event. And that's the program for April. And in May, we have one program. It's a children's program. It's called Bubble Mania. It's on Wednesday, May 15th at 5 o'clock. We've had this program at our library several times before. It's been very successful, and it's also been very successful at other county libraries that have had this program. This is for ages 6 through 12. You are going to learn about the science of bubbles, and you're going to learn about all kinds of bubbles: round, triangle, square, bubbles within bubbles. And anything you want about bubbles, you'll come to this event and you'll find out. Neither have I, but it's... Sign up, you'll find out.
How'd you get that?
So please come on out. As you can see, there's something for everyone. Please support us, support my staff, support the programming, and come on out, have a good time, learn something, enjoy. There's no cost. The only thing we require is it's limited attendance, so we do require registration. But that's not a problem. You can do it on site or you can do it online. And if it's full, don't get discouraged. Come on in anyway. Put your name on a waiting list. Thanks.
George, just one follow-up from the previous presentations that you've had. How did the solar eclipse program go?
We had about, I think if I remember, about 15 or 20 people. Uh-huh. But we handed out over 500 solar glasses.
Wow.
So, and that was the same thing for all their libraries. Every single one of them ran out. They were calling us, do you have extras? So others had about the same amount, 500, depending how big they are, what they had before. But we had a big supply. We provided some extras to nearby libraries who ran out, but everybody ran out of them. So very popular.
Great. Well, thank you. Okay, let's see. Good. Any council announcements?
Sure. You may have noticed while we were up here earlier, council is in jeans. as are a number of staffers. And we're doing this early in recognition of Denim Day, which is actually on April 24th. And so since we don't have a meeting on that day, we decided to honor it today. Councilmember Rick Crosby was kind enough to remind us of it. So we are all here in jeans. And for those that may not know what Denim Day is or how it began, it's a campaign to raise awareness about sexual assault and rape. And this began after a ruling by the Italian Supreme Court where a rape conviction was actually overturned because the victim in that case was wearing a pair of tight jeans. And so they said that there was no way that she could have been raped. She must have helped take her pants off, implying consent. And so in solidarity with the victim the next day, women in Parliament wore jeans to protest that. So we wear denim today just to raise awareness about sexual assault. It happens more than you know. If you know a woman, you probably know somebody who has experienced that. So really important cause to bring awareness to. And if you are able and willing, and April 24th is the official day, so we urge you to also help raise awareness about sexual assault.
I'm having a little go back here. I forgot to ask if public comments. Danita?
I wanted to remind the residents that next Thursday, April 25th, is a meeting that LV3C, and for those of you that don't know what that stands for, it's the Coalition of Concerned Citizens for the City of Laverne, will be having a meeting, and our city manager, Ken Domer, will be coming and meeting us at Rock of the Foothills Church in Bush Hall, which is located at 4630 Wheeler Avenue. It's the northeast corner of Baseline and Wheeler. And he will be doing a Q&A session with the residents there. And so we are asking people to RSVP because the room only holds 50. We will have small refreshments available. And we look forward to meeting with Mr. Domer and enlightening us with answers to many of the questions that the residents will be proposing. I also want to reiterate Monday the 22nd, this meeting at Lutheran High School with the potential developer. This is your time as a resident to make your voices heard. We all know how important this is. We went through this with the 740 project for the homeless housing project. To make your voice heard, to make your, are you in favor of it? Are you against it? For what reasons? This is your time to come and make that known and work with people that are like-minded as well. So it is very, very important that you find time to make one of these meetings. And in addition to that, if you are able to attend the Planning Commission meeting, the next one is on May 8th here in the chambers, so that you can make your position known about that project to the Planning Commission, because before the developers can do their improvements as they wish, the zoning has to be changed, and that starts with the Planning Commission. So please attend that meeting as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments or announcements?
This is the back to the Chelsea Bridge again. They tore down. Am I in the right section?
No, this is an announcement.
Oh.
I'll go back and sit down and shut up.
There you go.
Rick.
Yes, we have on May 6th the Laverne Police Association Golf Tournament fundraiser. You can go on the Laverne Police website to sign up for that. And we have next Monday, I don't know if there's spots left, of the Laverne San Dimas Education Foundation Golf Tournament as well. But I know they're selling for the ball drop for next Monday, the 22nd, which will be played at Villa Verde.
Are you playing? Are you bringing your daughter?
We have a team.
A ringer.
You have a team.
We have a team.
Oh, there you go. I'll be there too.
Any other council announcements? Nope. Moving on to the consent calendar. Now we will move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the council or a member of the audience requests a separate discussion. Council, are there any requests to pull an item from the consent calendar? City Manager Domer, are there any requests to pull an item from the consent calendar?
There were none.
Okay. Do I have a motion for approval of the consent calendar?
Move to approve the consent calendar.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor? Or the electronic vote?
That was approved 4-0 with Hepburn being absent.
Okay, public hearings. We'll move on to public hearings. We have 3 items tonight. The first matter of the public hearing is to determine the necessity of the continuation of the city user utility tax. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting on this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to bring forward Jesus from our Finance Department. He will be presenting tonight on this item.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. City Council, city staff, and residents. In accordance with the city's municipal code, I am here tonight to discuss the city's utility user tax, also known as UUT, and whether that tax continues to be necessary. Currently, the city imposes a 6% tax on both electric and gas consumption and 5.75% on telecommunications. The city also offers a 3% reduced tax, and that is offered to income eligible residents, senior housing complexes, mobile home parks, churches, private schools, and nonprofits exempt under 501c3. Revenues from UT go directly to the general fund and are then used to support essential city services. For the upcoming fiscal year 2024-25, UT revenues alone are estimated to provide roughly $3.8 million for the general fund. UT is the third largest tax revenue for the general fund, and since its adoption, has proven to be a stable and reliable revenue source for the city. With that, it is recommended that the City Council continue the collection of the utility user tax at the current voter-approved rates. Thank you, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you. Any council comments on the matter? Move to public. Danita?
I just have a question. I'd like to know what the money that is raised for. I know some of it does have to go to the state of California, but what else does that money allocate towards in our general fund? Is it just strictly public works issues or things that they take care of in their salaries, or is this something more detailed? I briefly looked at the budget, and then that's a really lot of documents and tiny, really small writing. But yeah, just curious to know how that money is allocated for, and I think that will be the determination of whether or not it's continued, it's a necessity or not. Thank you.
Mr. Domer?
Yeah, it is a general fund
revenue.
So it just goes into it. It pays for everything from public works, public safety, parks and rec and everything. So it's mixed into the general fund, and it's one of our, as Jesus said, dependable funding sources, along with property tax, and then retail sales tax, which of course fluctuates. But
so there's no designated earmark that it has to be paid on anything. It just goes general fund.
Correct, just right in the general fund.
Council, do you have any further comments? Is there a motion to maintain the city's user utility tax at the current voter-approved rates for fiscal year 2024 through 2025? A motion?
Yes. First comment. although don't like taxes at all.
Taxes.
$3.8 million to our general fund. If we lost that, it would be a big loss. And so, though, I will move to approve this measure.
I'll second.
Okay. Please vote.
That item was approved 4-0 with Hepburn being absent.
Yeah. Thank you. We will move on to the second matter, paramedic service fee annual hearing to consider a rate change based on the Consumer Price Index. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to call forward Isabella Guzman from our Finance Department to present on this item.
Good evening, City Council, City staff, and residents. Tonight, I bring forward a recommendation for the Council to approve the fiscal year 2024-2025 paramedic service fee increase. The paramedic service fee, also known as Measure GG, was passed on November 4th, 1980, which is solely for the purpose of providing emergency paramedic and ambulance services in the city. Based on the 2.4% increase from October 2022 to the October 2023 Consumer Price Index for the Los Angeles area, it is recommended that the monthly rate be adjusted by 15 cents, increasing the current rate from $6.35 to $6.50. The additional revenue generated is estimated to be $48,294, which will be deposited into the Paramedic Service Fund and will be included in the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget preparations. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
Council, any questions? No? Any public comment or questions? Hearing none, we'll bring it back up to the dais. We have a first.
I have a comment on this. For $6.50 per unit, to have the fees of our ambulance service to take our residents is a very cheap way to make sure that our residents are being covered. I know we also charge the residents' insurance as well, but no out-of-pocket money comes from our residents to be transported to the hospital. I know that the cost of the $6.50 does not cover all the costs, but we're only allowed to charge this amount for the growth of it. But I think it's a very good thing for all of our residents to have, and to make sure that we're taking care of them and know that don't have to worry about getting to the hospital there. So I appreciate our city and our residents passing this a long time ago, and our fire department really taking care of this and making sure to get our residents safety.
And I would just add that as a person who had to utilize these services back in 2021, I am extremely grateful for living in a city that has this in place. So I concur with Councilmember Crosby's statements.
Cash?
You know, my colleague said it best. It's here to help our community. Anything to help our community get from to make them safe and provide them service that we as a city can do. I'm all for it. So, and I appreciate the firefighters and I appreciate those paramedics that put their lives in harm's way every single day. And all our public safety and professionals do. So, least we can do.
Very good. Being in the insurance business myself, and last time I was on the council, this issue came up. And my question to insurance companies at the time was, for residents in Laverne, do we get any break on our insurance premiums? Because the city has this program. And we don't get any type of a discount or a lowered monthly premium for insurance. So I have no problem in billing the insurance company. Bill them. If they'd give us a break on rates, maybe that'd be a different story. I think it's a great program, and many of our Laverne residents benefit from having this in place. Do we get a motion?
Move to approve.
Second?
I'll second. I was waiting for my-
Your vote, please.
That item was approved 4-0 with Hepburn being absent.
wasn't me. Don't look at
I know. At first I was like, what are you doing, Dad?
Proving more stubborn today.
Next, where am I?
Yeah, she's having a good
You
time.
could be a city councilor and do that all the time right after.
Service
Come on up here.
Thank you. And the final matter is the resolution adopting the comprehensive fee schedule changes. City Manager Domer, please call forward the staff member who will be reporting.
Thank you, and I'm going to spin the wheel. No, this will go to Elizabeth Lewell. We call her Ellie. She's going to be
Ellie
providing this presentation and answering all the questions.
Good evening, City Council, City staff, and residents. Tonight I bring forth the recommendation to amend Resolution 2360-63, fiscal year 2023-24 comprehensive fee schedule for the upcoming fiscal year. As part of our budget process, departments review their existing fees and provide any revisions or additions to the fee schedule. So starting with the additions, we want to address the online building permit housing fee that has been identified as an additional fee. At this time, we will update the comprehensive fee schedule until the Building Industry Association of Southern California can be notified. We will move this to the May 6th City Council meeting, and it will require at least 60 days to be enacted. The other addition to the fee schedule includes the copies of color photographs via flash drives for the police department. This fee, the fee for a flash drive that is 32 gigabytes or less, will be $20. This fee includes materials and personnel to process the color copies into a flash drive. This new option will allow the customer to receive their files in a more convenient option. The last name fee falls within the animal control fees, and it is for owner-requested euthanasia, which is proposed at $50. All animal control fees are based on the contract between the city and the Inland Valley Humane Society. Moving on to revisions. And to remain respectful of your time, I'll provide an overview of the change, but we could go into detail if you have any questions. The entertainment permit has changed sections and is now under the precise plan filing fees. There has been no change in the fee amount. Aerial photocopies were removed from other professional services. Refuse and recycling collection service charges reflect the 7.28% CPI increase. There are 3 police department fees that have proposed increases. The first is the fee for false alarms. The proposed fee for a third response within the year increased from $50 to $75, and the fourth and subsequent responses within the year increased from $50 to $150. And while the increase may appear to be high, false alarms include personnel response from dispatchers and officers, corporals, and review from a communication supervisor, and the billing mailing by a police record supervisor. Furthermore, justification for false alarm fees is that they are not only dangerous for police officers, but they create a strain on police resources when officers could be better utilized proactively patrolling the city and assisting community members. The other increase for police are citation sign-off fees for non-residents. This is an increase from $10 to $20. Citation sign-offs require a response from a police clerk, dispatcher, officer, corporal. So this increase aligns with the increase in salaries. And the last increase for police department fees is rolled ink and fingerprinting with an increase from $10 to $20. Although the increase may seem high, the total rate increase aligns with the increase in costs and supplies and the increase in salaries. In addition, the increased fees will directly support the RSVP program, therefore benefiting the Laverne community. Emergency medical service fees that have proposed changes are medical supplies and night charge. Medical supplies increased from 31 to 34, and night charge has a proposed increase from 29 to 31. These rates reflect the same increases for LA County Emergency Medical Services Agency. Moving on to animal control fees. All animal control fees are based on the contract with the city and Inland Valley Humane Society. They have identified 15 rate revisions, all within the dog license fees, impound fees, food and care, and owner release fees. In addition, they have removed fees for traders, special animal permits, and the service fee for large animals requiring extra manpower. The other fees that have been removed is for the fee for the city's annual budget and for the annual comprehensive financial report, as it will be available via the website. And the last revision is for the passport photo service fee. Although we actually had identified a 40% increase from $15 to $21, we would like to suggest lowering this amount to $17 with a revised 13.3% increase. The cost for the photo service fee is $20, which includes materials and personnel. However, in order to remain competitive, we would like to propose an increase to $17 instead of the $21 that we had already listed. And finally, to summarize the just language revisions within the comprehensive fee schedule, the following sections had language revisions: the land use filing fees, environmental filing fees, community development department applications, sign precise plans, the no charge applications, emergency medical services, and impound fees for dogs and cats. And this summarizes the proposed comprehensive fee schedule revisions. And with that, we can open for questions or comments. Apologize.
No, not at all. I apologize for you coming there this late with it.
Okay.
Question is you talked about the fingerprint, rolling the fingerprint going up. Does that include raising the cost of that for CCWs at all, or is the fingerprinting by itself?
I can answer that. No, for the CCW, it's a different fee that the council set for the CCW permit. So,
excellent, thank you. I really liked the red line and the change order on it. It really shows where the changes were made. So, appreciate the accounting and fiscal department to making that for us.
Again, any public or any other council comments? Any public comments? Quiet. Hearing none, let's bring it back up to the council. Do we have a motion for direction?
Move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
All those, please vote.
That item was approved 4-0 with Hepburn being absent.
And Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members, last time when we were doing the budget, we had kind of taken all this during the May and June timeframe, and it was brought up that, if the budget's going to be based on these fees and everything else, that we ought to move it forward. So that's why we're bringing it to you at this time. These are all things that will be then put into the budget based on the numbers. So we didn't want to have you approve the budget and then approve a fee resolution or something like that. So we brought it all forward, and now all this new information will be put into the budget as we continue to bring it forward in the public study sessions and then ultimately to a vote.
Very good. Other matters. We will move on to other matters. There's one item, the citywide landscape and lighting district, district number 6, engineers report.
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, what I'd like to invite Cody, our city engineer, who always does a tremendous job of talking about landscape and maintenance lighting districts.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the City Council. Yes, this is my favorite subject, as I'm sure it is. Tonight, what this action is before Council is part of the annual action that Council takes every year to initiate the proceedings for starting the levy process for the city's LMDs. You'll notice, or Council notice, on the consent calendar, there was District 7 and District 8 that were approved to set that same public hearing date. We pulled District 6 out to highlight it to the council and for the community present. And just kind of recalling back to that invigorating study session, I think it was back in October, of the details where we discussed that a handful of the District 6 zones were having some budget challenges. And so working with Director McWade, myself and the Public Works staff, we evaluated the budgets. We also went out to bid and rebid the landscape maintenance contracts to make sure we have fresh numbers, certainly before we bring this back to council for consideration. But this evening, and the reason why this is pulled off is, on to other matters, is because staff is proposing or recommending to council to consider a assessment increase, particularly for District 6, Zone 4-1 and 4-2. So this evening's recommendation is that the City Council adopt the attached resolution approving the engineer's report and setting the public hearing for the landscape and lighting District Number 6, Zones 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, and 6 for June 17th of 2024. Now, you're probably wondering what is the increase, right? That's the key thing, the big detail everybody's looking for. So, like I had mentioned, we're looking to only increase 2 of those districts right now. Those are 4-1 and 4-2. 4-1 is North Laverne, which is the Rancho Laverne area. So it's it's a group of tracks north of Baseline, east of Wheeler, and south of Birdie. The easterly boundaries tends to be approximately where the drainage channel is, but not always. So that's a little bit more ambiguous and goes from track to track. That particular zone within District 6, we're proposing a 7.9% increase, which amounts to $11.23 for the annual assessment. So a little less than $1 a month if you want to break it down to on a monthly case cost. The other one that we're proposing is Zone 4-2, which is commonly referred to Live Oak. So it's the Live Oak development, but a number of other developments that are along Esperanza, excluding the Laverne Heights. That is separate, and that's actually District 7 for council's information. So that one we're looking at a 9.8% increase, or $14.45 on the annual basis, which ends up being about $1.20 a month on the monthly cost difference. So within those costs, there's obviously the budgets for the O&M. There's a cost to recoup the process for going out to a 218 vote, which I'll get to in a second. And particularly Zone 4-1 does have a deficit that they're paying down. To keep these increases as manageable as possible and hopefully open to consideration of the general public that will be voting on it, we're looking at paying down that deficit over a 20-year period. So if council is approving of this approach, the next step would be to initiate the 218 process and sending out ballots. It's a 45-day notice. The ballots would probably go out by May 3rd or sooner. The public hearing would occur on June 17th that evening. It can be an eventful evening. Typically, we open ballots right here, much like if you recall 11-1, the CFD we did not that long ago. This has a much higher volume of parcels, though. For the council's information, 4-1 has 540 parcels, and 4-2 has 325. So of the District 6 parcels, which is a total of 1,060 parcels, the 218 vote being proposed and recommended tonight would pick up about 80% of those parcels in that district. Now, there are a handful of other sub-zones, but those are much smaller and distributed into sort of infill housing tract projects. And I don't want to speak for Councilmember Cash, but I probably should have mentioned this earlier. You do have a conflict, so I'll leave it at that and leave it opening for questions.
Yeah. Technically, we've checked this with the city attorney's office. There is no conflict. Prior city council person, Robin Carter, actually served on the HOA board, and they do own parcels. And so there was a conflict there. But, the conflict is, whether there is true or not, there is not. But if there's a perception or out of an abundance of caution, you do want to recuse yourself just for whatever reason, you're always open to that. But we have checked with city attorney, and there is no conflict on that.
I'll just recuse myself so I can go steal another. Easier because my man here makes some cookies. And for the sake of argument, I'm sure we have enough. Oh, great.
See you later,
Thank you, sir.
Cash.
Right. Bye, Steve.
Okay. Are we ready to vote on this? Or questions?
So it's not a public hearing, it's setting, but you always can if you'd like. But yes, questions of council if you'd like.
Council, any questions? We want to open this up to the public for questions. Anybody in the public have a Anita?
No, let's do it.
The question is this only open for the residents that live in the districts that was stated?
Yes, that's a fantastic question. The Prop 218 process would be a vote of the property owners affected by the proposed increase. Based on Prop 218, it would be a simple majority of the ballots returned. So let's say, for example, in North Laverne, 4-1, there's 540 parcels. If 100 ballots returned, I'd hope that we can get more. If there was 51 no's, then the proposed increase would fail. And so this is a protest hearing. That's why it's generally skewed towards the no. But obviously, if you had 51 yeses, it'd be the opposite of it passing.
And Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, just if that were to come to play, so if it was protested and voted down, then much like it was mentioned in the staff report from 2010, I believe, the assessment stays the same. The problem at that point is the assessment doesn't cover the improvements that are going on. So at that point, based on our conversation through the study session, that was very exciting, led by Mr. Cody, we're going to have to look at all of those. And in fact, that's what we've done in between bringing these back, is we looked at all the landscape maintenance districts. We're going to be bringing and doing public engagement on other ones that are going to be even, I think, harder to get people because the improvements are that much more. We're going to be looking at the ability to pull out some of the what's called non-functional turf, basically the grass, because water costs are the biggest portion of a lot of these maintenance responsibilities. And so if the landscape maintenance districts fail, then we're going to assess what is currently being assessed, so that $11 a month or $14 a month for 4-2 won't go through. But we're going to be then scrambling to see what we do to reduce the service level in those areas.
Yeah, and one thing to add is, so obviously we won't know what the voters will say in terms of the outcome of that public hearing. But at that evening, I will have an alternative engineer's report in case it does fail, that council can consider for approval and ultimately moving forward with the levy.
So at this public hearing that will occur later, I would just ask that, staff clearly outline what the consequences and outcomes are of each decision, whichever they may vote, because I think, off the top of people's heads, as my esteemed colleague, Councilmember Crosby said, hate taxes, but sometimes, or, you hate things that are being levied, but at the same time, the consequence may be that you might not have the landscape that you would like. So I think it's important just so that people in full disclosure can understand the consequences of actions. So if they decide to or not, they, clear conscience, they had the information necessary.
And remembering from the October study session, the LLDs, they are primarily not inside these housing complexes. They're on the outside, where a majority of them, where the rest of the residents of Laverne gets the beauty of them. We're not watering people's lawns. It's the boulevards that are on the outside, where if we're driving by, the rest of Laverne really sees. And it makes our community look good in the community for that. So just want to make sure people note that this is not necessarily people's lawns, but it's on the outside of these communities.
Yes, if I may add, once the ballots do go out, there will be a letter in there that basically outlines sort of the gist of what's occurring. It will point back to this evening in the engineer's report for everybody's consideration. But it's my intent, along with Director McQuaid, to hold community meetings, probably at least 2, see how it goes, to make sure that we get that information out to folks. We want to have as much of a ballot return as possible, because it is up to the people to weigh their voice on that. And Councilmember Crosby, you're exactly right. There are numerous portions of these landscape improvements that are frontages. They might be on main thoroughfares, they might be on lesser, but there are internal and external improvements for the benefit of the community. And one of those things that we've done is we've made sure to consider what we call the general benefit in these budgets this year moving forward. So that is absolutely a detail to make clear to everybody. Yes.
Any other comments, council? Any comments from the public? And this is on the issue of the zones.
On the issue of this landscaping and the water consumption, what about planting cactus and succulents? Require no water. That's it.
Succulents and, yeah. Any other comments? Bring it back up to the dais.
Move to approve.
Second.
Vote, please.
That was approved 3-0 with Hepburn absent and Castelvegita recusing himself.
We want to bring cash back. Chocolate.
Oh, got it. I'm no.
Okay, public comments. This is a time set aside for anyone wishing to address the City Council on items not listed in any other place on the agenda. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, the legislative body is prohibited from taking or engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to staff or set for discussion later. Please email your public comments to the city clerk office at cityclerk@cityoflaverne.org. Your public comments will be shared with the council and included in part of the permanent record. There's a 3-minute limit on the public comments. Any public comments? Jerry.
Back to the Chelsea Bridge again. The gate was fixed. Now it's broke again this weekend. They're getting back in there again. So you might want to call Caltrans and tell them about that. All of the toilet is gone. It was a 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's. So that's a plus. And the people over here they failed miserably. I haven't trimmed the bushes yet over there. And is there a problem with that? Okay. And one more thing, is there a law in Laverne against how many cars can park on your front yard? The reason why I'm calling, there's a guy over there approached me and asked if I knew, and I didn't know. There's people got 3 cars parking in the front yard on the grass.
Again, that's a call to code enforcement. So you're supposed to park on a solid surface, cement surface, and not allowed to park on your lawn. So if you provide
a police matter,
it's a code enforcement. So if you call our code enforcement, or if you have the app, or you have my email, so send the address to me and I'll send it over to Ron.
Okay, that's it.
Benita?
Anita Beauchamp, 2516 Amherst Street. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. I'm here again asking that the city, whether it be Public Works or Council, to instruct Public Works to make some kind of contact with Caltrans. I'm not sure how many times it's going to take for us residents to continually ask that something be done about Baseline Road. I don't know if you were aware, but almost in the same exact position where Billy Elfman tragically died, another car jumped the curb and went into a house's front yard again. We were asking, does someone have to die for something to happen proactively? Well, that death is unfortunately taken place, and we have had accident after accident. Something needs to be done, whether it be put in a center median, better lighting, speed bumps. I don't know what it is, but something has to happen because we are just looking at another fatality in the wings. It's really disappointing that nothing is being done. I don't know if I have to write a formal letter requesting this to the city, Public Works, and I'm not blaming anyone in particular, but the lack of conversation is what not only angers me, but it disappoints me, it disheartens me that it seems that the lack of conversation with the county and Caltrans sends a message of you guys don't care. You ladies, guys, everybody, nobody cares. And that's not how our city is. We generally help each other. We care about each other. We try to go the extra mile. And this is happening too often. Less than a month ago, there was another one there. I mean, it's getting really, really bad. So, Councilmember Cash, this is your district. I would like you to take some kind of initiative and make something happen. This is your chance to tell your residents that you care about what goes on in your district. So I'm looking to you to lead the charge here, and I know you have the resources available to you to do it. You work very closely with law enforcement and see what can be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Any others? Public comment? Bring it back up to the dais then. Any council comments?
I'll go first. It is National Communication Officers Week, so celebrate our dispatchers. This last week, Cash and I got to go to the Benita Unified School Board meeting and recognition of Ramona Middle School becoming a California Distinguished School. We have asked them to be honored here. I believe that's going to be coming back in May to bring them. The Ramona Middle School becoming a California Distinguished School, the last time that happened was in 1996. And so great things are happening there, and it's a great, great school. Just remind people, I know we did in the beginning, we have community presentations about the Lutheran High School property, Monday the 22nd at Lutheran Gym, Friday the 26th at Lutheran Gym, and then Wednesday the 24th at the Foothill Terrace Mobile Home Park. What's that? Wednesday the 17th at the Foothill Terrace Mobile Home Park at their HOA meeting. Please, at the HOA, let those residents be at that meeting only. Don't bombard that one. But please, this is our first bout of engagement. The developers need to hear from you, and so go out there and make sure that you're being told there. Thank you.
Wendy?
Yes, so beginning of this month, Mayor Pro Tem Johnson and I were able to go to the Cool Cruise. It was a beautiful day for the Cool Cruise. It was nice to see community members out in mass. And if you are itching for the fair, it is coming up. And so you may see some fun, put it on. You may see some fun promos with myself and Mayor Pro Tem Johnson wearing this hat. And I want to say thank you to the fire department and the police department who were very good sports when I came over and said, will you put this hat on to do this promo for the fair? So be on the lookout. The fair is coming. So, we know that as much fun as it is, it can also affect traffic. So just be advised to, plan accordingly. But it should be a good time for everybody. So other announcement is there is a Tri-City meeting this Wednesday for anyone interested at 5 p.m. And that's it for me for now. So be kind, have a good week, and thanks.
Cash?
Well, I like that hat. Look at that. You look good. You look real good. Hey, the fair's coming around. Looking forward to it.
You can keep it?
Yeah.
You can keep it.
You should. You should. The fair is what, May 4th to May 3rd to the 27th, and then we have a Laverne Day, which we'll announce. I guess we'll announce already, right? May 10th. But let me tell you what's coming up hot and heavy next week. The Wine Walk. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live in Laverne, California, the Wine Walk. The famous Wine Walk, which I attend recently for many great years. It's coming to you. So make sure you come on down, support local business, get your tickets to Laverne Chamber of Commerce or where tickets are sold right in downtown Laverne. Next Saturday, the 27th, you'll always find me in my little corner right there on, I'll let you find me. It won't be too hard. I won't be too hard to find. I'll be like the loudest one there. Yeah, I'm right there. Where's Cash? And Cash is going to be right there in downtown. So don't forget the Wine Walk. A lot of great businesses. Come support the businesses. Come just have a good time. Come see your neighbors. Come drink some great wine and some great little samples of food out there brought to you by Laverne's Finest. So that's it.
Very good.
Yeah. Back to you.
You enjoying those cookies?
I'm loving these cookies. I'm loving these cookies. And I'm just waiting for you to also share something I just seen right there in front of you. That's I'm hoping you can share that story. The gavel. No, the gavel. That.
This.
Yeah, man.
This actually happens to be my father's gavel. Presented. What year? I can't even read it. It's in this light. That.
Let me see.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
I even have my.
If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and say this. This was. It just sparked my attention because it's just awesome to see from family members throughout the history of the city of Laverne that are here that you carry on and you were able to just take the gavel, right? Take the gavel here and here you go. But this says presented to Mayor Frank R. Johnson. What's the R for middle?
Raymond.
Frank Raymond Johnson, might be stand correct. By the Laverne City Council for 20 years of exemplary leadership, April 20th, 1982. So I just wanted to make sure you said that.
Thank you. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting or recess because we do have closed session. And will we be reporting out?
We're not anticipating reporting out.
Very good. And I adjourn or recess
Recess to
this
closed
meeting to closed session.
Boom.